artillery shells still in our hearts. This devotional message comes from Dr. David Jeremiah, starting off in Romans chapter 12, verse 14 through 21. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice, and weep with those who weep. Be of the same mind towards one another. Do not set your mind on high things, but associate with the humble. Do not be wise in your own opinion. Repay no one evil for evil. Have regard for good things in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men. Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. Therefore, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him a drink. For in so doing, you will heap coals of fire on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. That's my cat right there. Archaeologist Stephen Brand was using his metal detector near Little Round Top at the battlefield of Gettysburg in February of 2023 when he got a hit. Digging about 20 inches into the soil, he found an entire artillery shell which had been fired by Confederate gunners around 160 years ago. The Army's 55th Ordnance Company took it to a secluded part of the battlefield and blew it up before it can do any harm. Wow. It's amazing how deeply artillery shells can remain buried in our heart and how long they can remain hidden there. When we're hurt, abused, ignored, slighted, or offended, it's like a projectile is being fired into our spirit. We can carry the wound for a long time. We can fire back and land a shell in someone else's heart. Let that not be so. The Bible counsels us, do not repay anyone evil for evil. Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, it is mine to avenge. I will repay, says the Lord. As I said in Romans chapter 12, verse 17 through 19. We serve a God who will watch out for us and take care of our adversaries. Release your bitterness and let it dissipate in the breeze of His grace. Forgiveness saves the expense of anger, the cause of hatred, the waste of spirits. And I know how hard it can be to turn the other cheek, but whenever God brings vengeance on our adversaries for disrespecting us, God doesn't punish lightly either. Whenever He brings vengeance on somebody, He pays them back at least fivefold, if not more. Yeah, God doesn't, He don't punish lightly, so that's why vengeance belongs to the Lord. Do not repay evil for evil, for God is the one to repay for us. He will avenge us. Yeah, He will bring vengeance on our adversaries. So leave it with Him. And also, I saw in this one picture, kind of a funny picture. It says on there, somebody saying, "I better let God take care of it, because if I do, I'll wind up in jail." See, it's another reason why we shouldn't, as godly people, we shouldn't take it upon ourselves to avenge ourselves, because if you, you can end up in jail. You can wind up in jail. Let God be the one to repay, and don't worry about what if they know it or not. God is the one to avenge us by bringing vengeance on those who disrespect us.